What up, what up? This is Finance, Fitness, and Folk, the channel where we discuss finance, a little bit of fitness, talk about some folk. So in today's episode, I'm gonna talk about surround your money to make money. Surround yourself with money to make money. So before I get into the video, thank you so much to all my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys liking my videos, commenting, and just subscribing, just showing the person some love, you know? So I really appreciate that. On the road to 100, I said that before on a previous video, and I believe I'm gonna get there. As long as I stay focused and keep pushing these videos out, I will get there someday. It's not a matter of will I, but when I, right? You gotta speak things into existence, you know what I mean? So anyways, getting back to my topic, surround yourself with money to make money. So I'm gonna give you a scenario, true story. So yesterday, I took my wife out to DC. We're pretty close to the DC area, so every now and then we go up there. Actually, we've been going up there more frequently now than we have in the past. Of course, because of the pandemic, you know, we kind of stayed away because at one point DC was a pretty hot spot for COVID. You know, a lot of places were shut down. I think DC was like one of the last places in the United States that actually like lifted the ban. Don't quote me on that. I'm just saying, like, from my perspective, it seemed like it took them a very long time to open up versus Virginia, a couple of the states. But anyways, we went down to the wharf. If anybody know the wharf down in DC, where the Potomac River is at, the waterfront, where you have the fisheries and things of that nature. A lot of the people that own yachts in DC, they have their yachts down there at the pier. And I went and took her to Gordon Ramseys Hell's Kitchen. Now, he already had a restaurant down there. It was a fish and chips restaurant. It seemed like it's more of a fast food joint than anything, or like, you know, well, I don't want to really call it fast food, but I mean, but like it was one of the restaurants to where like it's almost similar to me, like going to Burger King and McDonald's. And I'm not trying to say anything bad about those franchises. I'm just saying it wasn't your conventional style restaurant, and it had been down there for a while. But recently, within the last year, he built an actual full-fledged restaurant down there on the wharf. And the thing that's so popular that it took me, let me see, I think that thing opened up in, I want to eat it January or February. And I was on the website, I think a couple of days after it opened up, and I couldn't get a reservation until yesterday. Yesterday was April the 12th. And I had been trying to get a reservation since February, like early February. So suffice it to say, it was a pretty booming restaurant as far as like the franchise. A lot of folks that know about food, know about Hell's Kitchen and Gordon Ramsay, things of that nature, you know. But my wife watches the show religiously, right? And I knew that if I surprised her with this, because this is her birthday month, if I surprised her with this, that I know that it would definitely please her, and I know it'll make her happy. And as long as my wife is happy, I'm happy. You know what I mean? And that's real talk. My wife's like my best friend. She is my best friend, actually. But, you know, so we went down there, and of course, it's DC, it's the waterfront, you know, so it's near LaFont Plaza, it's near the Capitol. So there's a lot of money floating around there. You know, I parked in a parking lot near the Spy Museum. We walked down to the wharf, and I'm passing by Range Rovers, Porsches, G-Wagons, Mercedes-Benz, BMWs, Ferraris, you name it, you know, exotic cars galore down there, right? And then I'm also seeing, you know, businessmen with suits on, got their ties pulled out a little bit to go in to get like maybe like a glass of wine or something, you know what I mean? So the atmosphere feels like money. You know what I mean? It feels like money. Now, of course, if you live in a very rural area, you know, this is probably won't apply to you. But if you live near a big city, you live in a big city, you need to put yourself around people that have money, even if you don't know them. I'm not saying for you to walk up to a total stranger and start a conversation. I'm not saying that, you know. I do believe that in that part of DC, I think if you did do that, it wouldn't be too much of a big deal. But, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, for myself, I don't like doing that. I'm a big introvert. And, I mean, I'm from the streets, man. So, you know, you just don't walk up with somebody. I'm saying, like, it's not cool. But I'm not saying you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be comfortable with your own environment and what you allow yourself to do, right? But all this is to say that, we're walking past, I'm pretty sure, millionaires down there. There's no doubt. And these millionaires, and just a side note, they're not wearing a lot of flashy stuff. You know what I mean? They're rolling around in probably like a pair of khakis, some low quarters, a button-up polo, something like that. You know what I mean? But it's nothing too crazy. You know what I mean? They're not going down there flashy. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm assuming that, I know for me, if I was a millionaire, I wouldn't want anybody knowing that I was. You know what I mean? That's why if I ever hit the lottery, which I don't play the lottery, I don't gamble. But let's say if I did, I hope I won it in a state where I don't have to show my face and tell the world that I won the lottery. You know what I mean? I want to keep my stuff as low key as possible. But I pulled this topic up because this is a channel about finance, fitness, and folk. Finance being number one, right? And I mean, it's definitely a good look on your part if you surround yourself with people that have money. Because, like I said, I mean, you can go to dinner, you can be on a boardwalk or the wharf like me and my wife was, and somebody may come up to you and ask you a question. I always have my business cards with me. My wife always has her business cards with her. We're constantly advertising. And when you go down there to a ritzy area, you're advertising yourself because, for one, they don't know you, right? But a millionaire or somebody that has money may assume that you got money, and also kind of pays to dress, dress nicely when you go down to the places, I mean, first impressions are everything. And, I hope I don't get any slack when it comes to that, but I mean, it's just the way the world works, It's a lot of folks right out here that judge a book by its cover. And I will say that the more money you make, the more judgmental you get. And I know for myself, I'm not gonna lie, I have caught myself a lot of times judging people by the way they look. And I'm sitting here like, I'm from the projects. Who am I to judge somebody? But, it's almost like instant because I haven't been, when I left the projects, I left it for good and I haven't really been back. I have family members that still live in poverty to a certain degree. But, I don't live in a impoverished area. I live in a very nice area. My kids are very safe. They can walk down the street without worrying about getting shot or, worried about somebody trying to sell them some drugs, something like that, We live in a very nice area. And, when you remove yourself from those things, you kind of get desensitized when it comes to, folks that are, living paycheck to paycheck and, living just living on a prayer almost, you know what I mean? Yeah, and it's it's something I really try to watch myself when those things occur. But going down to the wharf yesterday, you didn't see them folks. I mean, you saw folks that had money, or at the very least, they were well off enough to where they saved some money, and they were able to go down there and have a good time. Have some dinner with whoever, or even by themselves. I even saw folks who were by themselves down there, but they dressed very nicely. So they might have been corporate America folks, or folks that just got off of work from being down there and just wanted to grab a bite to eat, bite to drink. You know what I mean? I mean, something to drink. But at the end of the day, it really says a lot when you actually put yourself in those environments, because what you're basically saying is you're telling the universe that I want to be like them. I want to be not necessarily rich, but wealthy. I want to be able to not worry about money. These folks are not worried about money, y'all. You know what I'm saying? They're really not worried about money. I mean, like, there's some folks in this world that they have no respect for money. They have so much money, they literally just, they don't think nothing about paying $1,000 bill for dinner, or going down to a dealership and paying $500,000 for a car, wreck it a couple of days later, and then dumping that, and then paying another $500 grand for another car. There's folks that are like that out here. And we don't know what kind of circumstance that put them in that situation, and I don't know their heart, so I'm not going to sit here and judge them either, but at the end of the day, when you put yourself in a situation to where you're surrounded by money, that energy is going to rub off on you. It's just the way it is. If you're in a negative environment, you're going to wind up being negative. You're going to take on that negative energy. So if you're in a positive environment, and I'm telling you, there's not a lot of negative energy when you're walking around money. What time do I have to be mad if I got money, if I'm rich, if I'm wealthy? I don't have time for that. I don't have time to feel sad. I don't have time to, to feel bad and things of that nature. And I do understand there are some folks out here that, they're depressed, and, money doesn't fix everything. I got that. I totally get that. But, for the most part, most people that got money, are not sad. They're not in a situation to where they're worried about a lot of things in life. You know what I'm saying? Because money can't solve problems. It can't make you happy, but it can solve problems that in turn, as a byproduct of that, will make you happy. So anyways, I'm not gonna hold y'all up. You know, this is just just a post I wanted to put out there. I do understand that, you know, there's some veterans out there that still want me to put some veteran information out there. I will do that, but I really believe I'm going to go ahead and make another channel and push all that traffic over to that channel. So stay tuned to that. I definitely will put the other link in the description once I make the channel. And then you guys, there are veterans that want to get information about veterans affairs and compensation, things like that. You can go to that channel and you can you know, go ahead and grab the information from me, because I'm going to push the information out. I'm also going to push that information obviously on this channel. So stay tuned. I want to give you a lot of information to give you leverage to better yourselves. Finance, fitness, and folk. Triple F, I'm gone.